Hello and good day. My name is Carl Harvey de Guzman, and today I'll teach you how to establish a connection on your database. So, first thing that we're going to need is the Samp, and then next the MySQL Jdbc, and then of course the Java Netbeans IDE. So, first thing that we're going to need to do is to download the Samp control panel. So I provided you with the link in the description below. So when you enter the link that I gave you, it would bring you here. So as you can see, there are different for different operating systems. In my case, I am using the Windows 10, so I'm going to click on Samp for Windows version 8.0.3. So once you click on that, the file will start downloading here, and we're going to wait for that to finish. So once the file is finished downloading, you can locate it in the downloads, and this is the file. So since I've already installed a Samp control panel in my operating system, I'm just going to show you a quick step-by-step tutorial on installing it. So first thing that you're going to do is download. We have been through that. Then we're going to run the exe file. So when you run the exe file, I suggest you right click and run it as an administrator, so it would really be installed in all users. So step 3, deactivate the antivirus software. So when you have an antivirus that is turned on, I suggest you just post the services first, because it can negatively affect the installation process, and also to avoid errors while you're installing the Samp control panel. So step 4 is to deactivate the user account control, because it can also interfere with the Samp installation. And then next step is it's going to bring you in the setup wizard. When you are in here, you're just going to click on next, and then next step is to choose the features that you want to install in your device. So I suggest you just leave all this checked, because these files are not really that big, and also to maximize your use of Samp. So the next step is it's gonna ask you to choose the installation directory of your Samp. So in my case, I just put it in drive C, and it automatically creates a folder Samp. Gonna click next on that, and then it will bring you into the installation process that you're just going to wait to finish. Now while you're in here in the installation process, a browser might pop up bringing you to the website of Samp, but you don't have to worry about that. You can just close it. And then step 9 is the Windows firewall blocking. I suggest you also turn that off. And you can just turn it on later. And then step 10 is the completion of the installation. And then you click finish. So once that is done, we can now see it in our search window. So we're just going to run it, and as you can see, this is the window of Samp control panel. You can start the MySQL services, and then the Apache, so it says running. Now the next step is to download the Jdbc file for the Netbeans IDE. I'm also going to provide you with a safe link on the description below, and when you enter that link, it will bring you here, the MySQL Community Downloads by Oracle. Then what I want you to do is to click on the select operating system and select platform independent, and it will give you these two. I'm gonna want you to click on download this 8.0.23 version. That is a zip file. So when you click on that, it's going to bring you to this site. So it's going to ask you if you want to log in or sign up, but you're just gonna click no thanks and just start my download. And after you click on that, the MySQL connector will be downloaded, and you can see that on the downloads. So a tip is for you to cut it first and then put it in your desired directory where you want it to be installed. In my case, I created a folder for all installed files I have in my PC, and then MySQL, and then you can see this is my directory. So what you're just gonna do is you extract the files here, and it will put up this MySQL folder. And as you can see, this is MySQL jar file. So now that's done. So now our Samp control panel is running. So what I want you to do is go to CMD or command prompt. And you can go to that by pressing Windows plus R in your keyboard and then select CMD. So now that we're here in our command prompt, we're going to change directory and then backslash. And then we're going to change directory to Samp, and then change directory to MySQL, and then change directory to bin, because that is where our file is located. Now that we're here, what I want you to do is MySQL, and then users, which is root, and then usually they add a password here, but in my case I don't have any password, so you can not include that and proceed to host and then localhost. Once you enter that, we are here in MariaDB monitor. So as you can see, there are no databases that you can see yet. So what we're gonna do is show databases. And as you can see, these are the databases that I have. So I'm going to show you a sample of my database. Let's go use my shop. So now we are using my shop, and in able to see its contents, first we're going to want to see the tables. So let's go use the show tables syntax. So now we're going to show tables, and as you can see, there is one table that is named clothing. So enable for us to see its content, we're going to use the show syntax, which is select asterisk from table name, which is clothing, and then we're going to click enter. Oh, I forgot the from. select asterisk from clothing. So you can see there is four rows and 7 columns. So this is an example of the database in MySQL. So now that we can see, we're going to go ahead to our Netbeans IDE. And if you haven't downloaded Netbeans IDE yet, I also provided you with the link below. So this is the link, and if we visit the link, we're going to redirect it here, and you're just going to have to click the latest version of our Netbeans and click on download and install it. That's just a bonus. So we're going to enter that. So now we're here in our Java IDE, in our Netbeans IDE. So what we're gonna do is first create a new project, and then you name that project the Java application, and then you name that project according to what you want to name it. I'm using a database named MyShop, so I'm just going to name it MyShop in here. Just go ahead and click finish, and you can see that the project is now loaded in here. So the first step is to put a jar folder in our libraries. So how are we going to do that? We're going to right click in here and add a jar folder. So now it automatically redirected in the directory of MySQL connector Java jar file. And you saw the directory of my jar file a while ago. So we're going to open this. And as you can see, MySQL connector is now added. The next thing that we're going to do is go to the services. So we're going to click services, and then you can see this is the database connection. So we're going to add connection here. We're going to right click here and then create a new connection. So I'm going to show you how I added this. This is my Java jar file. So we can add that by pressing add, and then open again this MySQL connector Java jar file. Open it, and as you can see, it says it's already added because this is my jar file. Then click next, and then its default driver is connector J. So this is the host, and this is the port number, and our database name is MyShop. Or you can also put a password. In my case, I don't want to put any password. So we're going to test the connection, and as you can see, it says connection succeeded. Then we're going to click on next, and then we're going to click on next again, and this is where you input the connection name that you want. So I'm just going to input MyShop in MySQL. So I'm going to click on finish, and as you can see, MyShop has been added in our databases. You can see the MyShop contents in here, the tables, the clothing, and these are the columns that we have. So now that we've done that, we're gonna go to our CMD to see if we really have a connection. So as you can see, this is our database MyShop, and it has seven contents. We're gonna go to our PHP site, which is the local host, then phpmyadmin, and I'm going to provide that also in the description below. So we're gonna hit enter, and you can see we have been directed to our PHP database. So it uses the my shop, right? And then we have the table clothing, and as you can see, this is the content of our database. So we're gonna try and alter that and change some things to see if we can really have changes in our database. So we're gonna hit insert into clothing, then we're gonna hit space, and then we're gonna open parenthesis the item ID, and then comma, item name, comma, and then the price, comma, and then the stock. Then we're gonna close it. And then now we're gonna insert the values that we want to enter to our database. So we're gonna hit values and then open parenthesis, and then we're gonna put the item ID number, which is now number 8, and then we're gonna put our item name, and I think I'm gonna put blue shirt. Next thing that we're gonna do is to put the item price. So I think I'm gonna put price 450. And lastly, the stock number, I'm going to stock 30 of those blue shirts. So now we're gonna close it with a close parenthesis and hit semicolon and enter. So it says that one row has been affected. So we're gonna see if we really have changed in our database. So we're gonna select asterisk from table name, which is clothing, to see the contents of our database. We're gonna hit enter, so you can see now that item number 8 has been added, which is the blue shirt. It is 450, and then we have 30 stocks of it. So now we're gonna refresh our PHP admin, and as you can see, item ID number 8 has been added, which is the blue shirt. It has 450 price and it has 30 stocks. So now I'm going to show you another example of a database that I have connected before. So I'm going to use my login page that I have created. So now we're going to run our page. So as you can see, this is the interface that I have created. So how are we going to find out the username and passwords that are in this form? So we're going to go to our database. We're going to show database. Show databases, and this is the database that I'm currently working on right now, which is the login. So we're going to use the login database. So it says database change, so we want to see the tables. So we're gonna put show tables. So it says it has one table that is named login, so we're gonna want to see what is inside that login table. So we're gonna select asterisk from table name, which is login, and then we're gonna close it with a semicolon and then press enter. So as you can see, these are the contents of my database, which is the login form. So we're gonna use one. It says here, I am hero 365, and then the password is pain in agony 24/7. So I'm gonna hit I am hero 365, and the password says pain and agony 24/7, and then we're gonna hit enter. Gonna hit enter, and then it says login successful, and it's gonna bring us to our website. Now let's see if we can enter another username or another account. So we're gonna click register now. We're gonna see if this is gonna be added to our PHP. So let's go to our PHP site and see all the contents. So it says here it has 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts. So we're gonna make it 5. So I'm gonna add another account in here. So we're gonna say I am Bob. The middle name is Miller, and the last name is Lee. So we're gonna put a gender, a birth date, gonna say April 29, 2021. Gonna put a contact number 0955 5555. So we're gonna hit an address, and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Put another 5 there. So it says address. So I'm gonna put Cabanatuan City. Make that a capital. Now our email address is Bob Miller Lee at yahoo.com. So now our username will be Bob the Miller. So we're gonna put a password. I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're gonna hit another password. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're gonna click on register, and it says you have successfully created an account. So we're gonna click OK, and then we're gonna try to enter that Bob the Miller. Then we're gonna hit the password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then we're gonna click login, and it says login successful, and it brings us to the page. Now let's see in our PHP if it has been added to. We're gonna refresh and then see there are now 5 accounts, and this is Bob the Miller account. So now we prove that we have successfully created a database connection. Now, you have any questions? What if only MySQL is running and then Apache is not? So what's gonna happen is that we can access our PHP localhost. See? But if we turn it back on, we now have a connection to our local host. But what if MySQL services is not running? So as you can see, if we stop that, we try to run our program again, our program will hit error. So that's everything you need to know about connecting a Java IDE program. Thank you and have a nice day.